Hello, this is Texas Danny. Today is Friday, August the 8th, 2025, a date that has significance to me as far as I went in the Army in 1978 on the 8th of August. I put my right hand back and raised my right arm to go in the military service of the United States Army, and I can't do that now in this anatomy, this body. It doesn't have the same exact capability of movement that I used to have when I put my arm back to raise it towards my oath of service in 1978 to 1981, where I was released in 7th of August 1981 from military service. I had served in Sinop, Turkey, a radar base which has moved its location in the Black Sea due to earth changes. I would like to give an oral briefing right now about the state of the earth changes. The earth is in flux. It is changing. It primarily is going east, but breaking in every direction thereafter, but going down. Subterranean, subaquatic is also active. These are causing, I believe, a lot of our volcanic activities. As we are closing in our areas, going back in time, and experiencing retrocausality on the face of the earth. The earth is having some experiences. For example, in Turkey, which used to sit along a more or less 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock position, has gone down to about a 7:30 o'clock position, the nose of the Turkey, the eastern end. A curious note for modern media is the film Inglourious Basterds, 2009. At about 25 minutes into the film, Hitler makes an appearance. Behind him is a map of Europe, which has changed according to the time changes that have occurred along. As I've watched over the years since 2016, I have watched these changes occur, and I've watched the orientation of, for example, Turkey being more or less go from a 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock position to the eastern nose going down to about a 7:30 position. Also into Adana on the southern coast of Turkey. Adana did not exist in my prior reality, my Earth reality that I existed in earlier in time. But that has got some retrocausality coming into that area, and we are probably going to see more activities with those ancient sites that they discovered a few years ago coming into that area, in which they continue to have increasing discoveries happen, and that shall probably increase as well as more and more retrocausality time effects bring more changes into that area, going out back east and over into the Euphrates in Syria, and into Iraq, and over into the Gulf on the other side, where Iran is, and that kind of thing. There are changes happening all across the earth. The East African split is increasing. It is opening. The rift in Africa is increasing. And the time dilations on these events are in quantum fashion. They are happening at quantum speeds. They are not happening at Newtonian speeds. They are happening at quantum speeds. This needs to be checked to see how the changes are affecting the Earth, as quantum changes are affecting the Earth at quantum speeds. And we are apparently getting smaller going back in time into the past. And the Earth's past, unique as that was, is having further effects coming into our present here, the present reality that we exist in now. Now, I myself and other people from the quantum effect, also known as the Mandela effect, primarily started coming here around 2015, 2016, in that area. Some several years earlier, some even possibly up to this very date now. But I think the bulk of us have come over from the other realities to this reality now. The changes that are happening are moving the Earth primarily, again, east, but every direction and down. And from that, I mean, you have some reverse direction going on. You have areas that are moving north and moving south and further out east and west. The Mediterranean is closing. The Mediterranean is getting smaller. Tunisia has moved up much closer to Sicily over the years. Since I started watching that and clocking it, Tunisia has actually come up closer to Sicily and Malta, and by the closing of hundreds of miles in distance. Also, again, the Mediterranean has closed in all the way around. This is probably causing some of the volcanic activity that has happened as Crete has gone further south. Crete has gone significantly further south towards the north part of the shore of Africa in the area of Tobruk, where it'll probably find its geographic niche. Niche is where it would have fit in prior to in the past. Again, we are going to have more changes as we've had the border of Austria, the eastern border, has taken a more sharp southeast orientation as well, coming around towards further down towards the Baltics. Not the Baltics, but further down from that area. And there, we are having a lot of issues with the geographic changes. We are having the Sahara begin to change. The Sahara is changing fast. So has the Saudi Peninsula begun to change fast. And all those areas around Israel and in the eastern Mediterranean, going all the way out to the Strait of Gibraltar, which in my reality, in my timelines, was the Straits of Gibraltar, and was something over 50 miles wide, 53 miles wide or something in my time, in my reality. Here they're under 9 miles now, I believe, and closing. We are having the up and around Finland and Norway and Sweden. We are having those areas close as well. Finland has gotten smaller and closed in. We still have Copenhagen open. Copenhagen remains open at this time still. And but we have the changes to Europe still happening as Europe is still changing and getting smaller with the changes to the Earth. The Earth's circumference is closing in. I repeat, the Earth's circumference is closing in. The Earth is closing her areas. Now, I don't know what all the effects have to our outer space areas. I am not a flat earther, never have claimed to be a flat earther, but I am somebody who is open to what is our true environment. What is our true environment? Because it seems that the earth is artificial. The Earth itself is an artificial environment, a sophisticated, very sophisticated artificial environment, whose companion also is artificial, the moon. Both, I believe, the moon and the Earth are artificial. We are having effects still to our environment still. We are having changes to our anatomy, as I mentioned at the beginning of the opening of my video. The anatomy, human anatomy, continues to change, to me closely, most notably in the hands and our skull and skeleton structure, and so forth. Again, changes continue to occur to areas which do disappear. It is difficult to be understanding what exactly has disappeared, because I can only guesstimate, since I have been watching this, that the areas that are disappearing are equivalent to one large commercial retail parking lot area per day to the Earth in size. That is just a rough guess, just a wild out there guess, that roughly one Earth day sees us lose the size of an area of, say, a multi-acre parking lot, commercial parking lot, say at a business or a mall or something like that. One good-sized parking lot every day, every single day, is disappearing in size. And we are having disappearing changes, subterranean and subaquatic, and causing some areas and some vanishings to have happened. I'm not sure exactly how this works, but I am believing that we are having vanishings of people. Now, I'm very aware, like a lot of people are, of the biblical sayings about the biblical notions of rapture and so forth like this. I don't believe this is what this is. I believe this is something different, but still causing vanishings, and in some cases, mass vanishings of population. I repeat, mass vanishings of populations, with large numbers of people disappearing. This is just my guess. I'm not sure. As my eyesight has become much poorer, I have cataracts now, and I am not working and am not outside much at all anymore. But the changes still show themselves on maps. They still show themselves to, if I see changes on Google Earth, I will see corresponding physical changes on maps. A different source, like hard maps, will also show differences. And I cannot always be aware every time of what has changed. For example, in 2016, not long after I had my first quantum jump, and I started noticing the changes in the maps, in the area of what is now Buffalo, briefly, New York had state had a city in that area, the same area which would have been Buffalo, some other city that started with an S, of course not Seneca or Syracuse, but some other city that I sadly cannot recall the name of, that began with an S, appeared for a duration in the area that should have been where Buffalo was, or almost was exactly where Buffalo was. And it was different. So we are having some differences take place. For example, the difference between the distance between London and Manchester, England, used to be in the hundreds and hundreds of miles. Now it's just 200 something. It's the same, the difference between Houston and Dallas. The difference used to be a few hundred miles. It is now just a couple of hundred miles and something between where Houston and Dallas are, and between where London and Manchester, England were. So these changes are occurring. Again, we are having also retrocausality happening. I believe in the south eastern part of Alberta, we are having some retrocausality issues there. Again, in Adana, Turkey, that did not exist. When I was stationed in Sinop, Turkey, it was not in the location that it's at now. It was almost at the very top center of the country, and kind of off to like a 130 clock position, with no corresponding land masses to the left of the area, and down to Samsun, Turkey, was smooth with no areas in between except the coastline, and that has changed as well. So I am aware of some areas, and of course I have not seen any major area disappear. For example, you haven't had a city of this size of Sydney go missing or something like that. Sydney, Australia, a city of that size hasn't gone just missing. However, of course, a lot of people who know about the quantum effect, the Mandela effect, know that Australia is well north of its old position. And it seems like Indonesia, Malaysia, and that kind of thing are all pinwheeling up closer to China. We have those areas closing as well. Japan is something that has to be watched from now on for some time. Japan will be a prime concern because it has greatly changed. And that is an area where some mysterious circumstances existed. For example, the Sea of Japan. We are going to be watching these areas. Some people, of course, know about these changes and see these changes as well. Maybe they see them a little bit differently than me. Some other people who are quantum affected haven't seen the same changes I have. Do not share the experience I have of seeing the maps. Those are not exactly unique to me because there are other people who have mentioned that they see changes, but not everyone has. And again, we are all in kind of a unique situation as the years are going on, and some of us have passed away. I believe that they have quantum jumped further in their own realities, that they are on another Earth that they have jumped ahead to, if they have passed away, become deceased here. That is just my guess. But again, my concern is what I am under the impression of is we're having populations vanish here and there on Earth. Okay, this is Texas Danny. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.